This is when Richard started smiling. I think this was the first time he started smiling. And since then, you can't get him to stop grinning. You can't get him to stop showing them whites. I think he be in the mirror practicing his smile.
Hi, my name is Richard Starr, and yes, I am a star. I would like to read to you something that I wrote almost 10 years ago when I was in 3rd grade.
They needed to know who they were, and they needed to feel important, and to know that they could do anything they wanted to be, and that they were very, very special.
I might not look like everybody, but I am somebody. I feel like I am somebody. I act like I am somebody, and I am somebody. Nobody but nobody can make me feel like a nobody. So you want to love somebody, love me.
I think the background that Richard had was more of a motivation to him.
My name is Richard Starr, and I am somebody. I love you, Miss McAdoo. I grew up in a low-income housing in a lower-class neighborhood. It is called the projects where I'm from. Growing up in my neighborhood, there were killings and drug dealers on a daily basis. My father was in my life up until I reached the age of 9 years old.
Well, here's a picture of me and him. This is the last picture. We took this October the 10th in 2001 when he was incarcerated. But this is the last picture I have of him since he's been gone.
In my family, there's a cycle in which every male have or is in jail. But once an absence of a man in the household, it changes another man. Man, you fresh out? Yeah, Dr. Yes, show them how the hood is. How the hood is. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling?
How the city blue. Something new.
What's up, man? I'm feeling you know, these are my friends, man. I grew up friends. They still my friends today. That's why so many families are broken up now, because we got women trying to raise men all the time. It's hard for a woman to raise a man, but if you got a man or someone there to look up to, he becomes what he look up to, that mentor or that role model.
You gotta be down, your butt down.
I met this young man, must have been 2000, wasn't it? These guys were playing a team called Pal 6 Red Dogs, and they were the underdogs, and I thought for sure that they were gonna lose the game. So I'm teasing the guys as they're getting on the scale, and this little dude got up on the scale and he posed for me like this. I said, wow. I said, you must be pretty tough. Yeah, I am, Phil, man. I said, what makes you tough? He said, you watch, I'll get 20 tackles today. I said, that's a whole bunch of tackles, man. He said, I'll get him. And he proceeded to go out there, and he probably got 23, maybe 24 tackles that day. But
we were just there just to give him a little encouragement and a little advice. You know, Richard was gonna be a smart kid. He was gonna get out of these projects no matter what, because that was his mindset. And a lot of other kids need to have that mindset that, look, I wanna get out of here. And I feel like a lot of people who live down here, they feel that way is because their grandparents grew up down here, the parents lived down here, so, oh well, I'm gonna be down here too.
One of the things I admire about Richard is from the environment that he's in, there's so many different decisions and ways he could have went. He can give you a list of his friends that's not even on the streets no more. Either got killed, committed suicide, gone to jail, you know. So
where it all started, it all started right here. It all started right here. We was right here. AP said, Richard, get up there. I said, He said, start over for the top. Then I kept fumbling over my words. So you know, he get up there. He said, man, how hard is this, Richard? My name is Richard Starr, and yes, I am a star. How hard is that? And I said, I don't know, man. It's a little hard. Yeah.
Last year, during the Youth of the Year competition in 06, I mentioned to Richard in his junior year in high school that he could win this competition. Like, I knew that he had it.
Before I start, I would like to say, welcome to everybody. All is welcome when it comes to the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you. My name is Richard Starr, and yes, I am a star.
You see how he's dressed now, you know, he's all cufflinks and French cuff shirts and slacks and all that, you know, so, you know, that wasn't really Richard's mantra, so to speak, you know, but now he looks like a businessman.
2 strips on Blanche? Yeah. It's a meal fry. We need a medium number 6. Hand me a bag of fries too, also, Eric. And you got a total of 4 steakhouses. You got a total of 4 steakhouses. If I ever think of like fear or something scared of, being away my male figures in my family were going to jail. To wake up and say, oh, Richard, how did you mess it? Or how to wake up thinking that way. That's my worst fear to ever do.
A 6'5" African American walking down the street with baggy pants. What do you see? You know what I see? I see a leader and a role model. I see a father figure. My mom was raising 5 kids by herself. You know, she decided to go to the hospital one night because she was really sick. She couldn't get out of bed or anything. And that's how we found out that she had AIDS.
After she passed away, they came into my life. Twine when he was 10, Antonio when he was 12.
Something that I thought why we don't get along is because of the fact that my mom is dead. He blamed her for getting AIDS because like she had sex with 4 guys that had 5 kids. But I blame him because if he went to jail, then this would never happened.
One day I went to work and I was listening, I remember Killers the Bell, I was listening to KBLX. They said it was a Twin Lauren fire on Palouse. I said, oh, that was about my house. 5 minutes later, your house on fire, huh?
The whole thing with me and my dad not getting along, some of it started here. Like the whole thing with me and my brother not getting along, it started here. I sometimes regret that, like, if I didn't set the house on fire, then maybe it would have been different.
I couldn't really be mad in a way. It was kind of like a blessing, but in the wrong way. The reason why I said that, I mean, I moved in an area where I should have never moved to. I moved to Hunters Point.
There was people there that didn't like his brother, and they were out to get his brother. So directly or indirectly, he was in the line of fire, whether he was with his brother or, you know, if the house was going to be targeted one day.
Hello, this is a prepaid debit call from an inmate of the San Francisco County Jail.
Yeah, he's my brother, whatever. I'm sorry that he's in jail, but things that he done to me before, I can't forgive him for that, and I'm not going to like look at him the same way.
Antoine hasn't came up here. I don't know, everybody keeps telling me Antoine mad at me for some reason, and I don't know. I be trying to talk to him and stuff, but he always brushes me away. Like, if I was to call him right now, he'd be like, what you want? Why are you calling? And what the, I mean, come on, man. I'm in jail.
With Antonio, you know, I was really involved in encouraging him in sports. He was a star basketball player at Mission High School, but he didn't want to listen. He didn't really believe in what the adults were saying. You know, he felt like he was just doing it on his own.
I regret, I had to have Twine to help because Antonio was in and out of jail when he supposed to help me, while Twine supposed to join his life. I mean, me and Twine.
When I'm at home, basically playing the father role to my brothers, Charles and Christopher. They're both autistic. I basically wake them up in the morning, get them dressed for school, feed them breakfast, make sure that they're both at school on time.
His brother would be 45 minutes to an hour late every day. So that would translate for him being 2 hours late to his own school.
And so when he was younger, he always had to be a little bit older. And that was really difficult for him because he was young. He's very much a young kid. He wanted to play, he wanted to jump around and talk to his friends and just be involved in things, but I always had something, weighing over him.
He didn't really have a teenage life, so I was kind of glad to kind of step in for him.
5, 6, 7, 8.
It was a surprise to me because I thought, he was goofing off, playing around, wasn't really doing it. Talking about he got to go to Boy and Girl Club and do this and do that. I thought he was just lying. And I thought he wasn't doing his stuff at school until I went to the ceremony. And when I found out that he was been picked Youth of the Year, I was shocked. And I was so shocked, and I got up and went over there and gave him a big old hug.
And he made me cry. Something I would have wanted from my dad was just the support. Like I said, like we didn't have that father-son relationship that every father and son should have. That's what I really wanted.
You have 1 minute remaining.
My dad always paid more attention than my other brothers and stuff. Than he paid attention to me. So that's part of the reason why, like, I'll be like, forget it, I'm gonna just do what I do.
Hang up.